I thought it'd be kind of funny. I won't do this, but it'd be funny if right at the beginning, before it starts, we do one of those stare at this picture like on YouTube, and then the thing comes out. Hello and welcome to the WB Show, episode Trace, which I can only assume is Spanish for 35. 35.
Close.
Because we're getting up there. My name is Shane, this is Josh and Michael, and it's been a while. It's been a little while.
I missed the last one, I feel betrayed.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've been here the whole time. We just forgot to turn the camera on.
We didn't forget. We were promised by our guy in the middle that we were going to get one before Christmas.
Yeah, listen.
And
I got busy around the holidays.
You know, it's like we were busy or something.
It's like we sold a lot of phones or something. Okay, well, I don't know why, but I like to start it off with Apple stuff. Sue me. Do you guys remember the new iPads that came out last year?
I do.
They were super new a few months ago.
If you guys don't remember the new iPads, be sure to go to apple.com.
Yeah. There's some good stuff on there, supposedly.
That's what Siri keeps telling me.
Yeah.
Check out Apple's fabulous website.
She wakes me up in the middle of the night and gives me advertising. I just mute it. So, a new iPad Air. We've never even had that before. And then a new Retina iPad Mini. iPad Air is like iPad 4th gen. It's super thin, it's light, it's crazy fast. And for the first time, this iPad Mini Retina screen, and it's the same guts as the big one. So basically, I think it just got a little bit harder to choose which one you would want, because they basically, spec for spec, they're the same thing. It's just a difference in screen size. If you guys were in the market for a new iPad, which one would you get?
Well, I can only assume by you staring at me that I'm first.
Yeah. Josh?
I would, I liked the smaller one. I had a Mini before, but it wasn't Retina. That was the only thing that made me sad, because I read a lot of comic books, and that just on my iPad.
Makes your eyes bleed.
Yes. So I switched and got a Retina display model. If I could go back, I'd probably take a Mini Retina, just because as far as put it in places, like, you know, a big size one you can fit in your backpack most of the time, but the Mini could fit in more smaller compartments and stuff. It's just, you know, just easier to tote around, especially with one hand. So that's the main thing I miss, just being able to tote around in like a lot smaller places, you know. So,
Josh?
Sure. Man, that's tough. I have a Mini, last year's version, and I really enjoy it. And for me, you know, I enjoy the size. I would probably go with the Air if I could, just for the fact that you know, I spend most of the day on my phone anyway, and when I go to my iPad, it's because I want to either read something or you know, maybe, you know, watch a longer clip on YouTube or actually watch an episode of Netflix. And so if I go to my iPad, it's because I'm wanting a bigger screen. I don't carry my iPad around as often anymore because I have my phone, and you know, I can get through the day on that. But at the end of the day, if you know, it's a little nicer to read a book on your iPad than it is on your phone.
Yeah, I think I'd go more that way. I love the iPad Mini. Like, to me, it's one of the most perfect things ever made. It's so thin and light and one-handed. I mean, you could probably read a whole book with your hand if you wanted to. But yeah, if I were picking one, I think I'd go with the Air, because it got crazy thin and light, I think, compared to last year's. And I have an old iPad too. I know it's like 20 years old, but I like that size. To me, it's more of like a computer replacement. And yeah, because I have my phone all day, I'd like to get something. If I'm gonna change a device, I want it to be big, you know, for a reason.
Significant.
Yeah. But honestly, you can't go wrong with either one, right?
No.
Tablets are only getting more popular. They're slowly replacing computers and laptops, and whether it's an iPad or
I feel like this is old information. Computers are just obsolete. We're
Yeah,
done.
what
We're
is-
done. We're
what
not.
is a PC?
Yeah, there's no longer tablets are getting better. They just are.
You know, it's even in stores, retail stores like ours, we don't need the computers. The software is there for us to just use tablets. It's just we haven't got to that yet. But we're at a point where we don't need a computer here to do anything. The only thing that we would need a computer for is for maybe inventory, but you can still do stuff like that even on your tablets. And they're just getting more and more advanced, and the apps are getting better and better as developers.
I mean, you guys aren't music producers or anything, and just
No.
you might think you are, but you're not.
For the everyday consumer, a tablet is going to do the job of what your PC does. Everybody goes, man, I have a laptop. Well, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it. I don't touch my laptop. I don't want to touch it. You know why? It's old, it's slow, and I can get a tablet for half the price, and it does the same, if not more.
It reminds me a lot of my grandmother. I just don't want to be around it.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm not commenting.
Yeah, that's...
So, why don't we move on to iPhone? iPhone 6 rumors are kind of starting to heat up a little bit. I swear, iPhone 6 rumors came out like the day after the 5S came out. It's so crazy. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is the year we see another bigger iPhone. What do you guys think?
I think I kind of feel like it's their only option at this point. Like, it's either get bigger and thinner. Like, I don't know what else they could do with the actual size of the phone other than make it slimmer than it is before. But, and that might be like, they might just do two whole new phones again and discontinue the 5C and the 5S. They might just, so I think that's just their next option, which, I kind of feel like that's what the iPad mini's for, in a way. But I guess not everyone wants to carry around a tablet and a phone, so.
Yeah, some of these rumors are like 2 new iPhones with 2 different screen sizes and getting up into the 6-inch range, and I'm like, that's what an iPad mini is. So I don't know if I believe that big so much, but the 5S, it's a 4-inch screen, and it was great when the screen got bigger, but it still looks puny to some of these phones out here.
We've talked about it before. They'll probably settle in between that 4.7, maybe 5-inch range, somewhere in between there. Not exactly sure which one it would be, but that'd be a huge improvement. And a little bit wider, so it doesn't look as goofy. Just this long, almost like a ruler.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that the rumors started so quickly was probably because people looked at this and said, what's different? Yeah, okay, yeah, we got new software. Yeah, we've got a new processor. But what's different?
Right.
What changed? And to consumers, we talk about specs a lot and stuff, and, Apple has an awesome product out, but it's not anything that you can see. It's not anything that you can say, hey, this has a 20 megapixel camera, because technically it doesn't, but it's got a really awesome camera,
When your new phone looks just like last year's phone, it's hard to get people excited about it.
Exactly. And that's part of it. So I think that's immediately when the rumors started going, okay, either they're cooking up something bigger, It's not like every year they release the iPhone and then go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, now what are we going to do this year? There's a process to what comes out and leads up to the next one. So I think that's why these rumors have started sooner maybe than before.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I've just got a couple super annoying bugs on my phone. And so I am desperately waiting for an iOS update. Does your guys' phones crash at all?
I have it happen, but no more often than it happened with any other iOS I've had before. So it's
Really?
not like it's a nuisance or anything.
Mine happens a lot when I'm multitasking. A double click of the home button and I go to switch over to a different app. It crashes, it restarts real quick, and then boom, I'm back in. It's weird. It's not like the phone totally reboots itself.
Maybe
but,
resprings.
Yeah. Like back in the jailbreak days.
What's
that's
that?
That's what it reminds me of. But annoying nonetheless, and we've had other people in the store with problems. So, I mean, I think everybody's waiting for iOS 7.1. I guess it's going to be.
It should be just around the corner, I think, like we talked about. I think this is the last beta they released to the testers, and so maybe next week or hopefully no more than 2 weeks, and then we'll get that update.
It's definitely beginning November, November, February.
February. I think it has to be next week because I think they've been going these betas a week at a time from what I've read. So I've been having the same issue. I also have been having trouble sending pictures, which has been driving me crazy. I go to send a picture, and the app freezes up, and I let it sit there for a second, and I go to try and send it, and it just crashes. And Shane said he's seen that with a couple other people. I've been trying to send him a picture, and I can't do it. I've also had a little trouble finding people on AirDrop, and it's just a little frustrating.
I've had the AirDrop problem, but like I haven't had all this crashing.
Mine's probably done it 4 or 5 times. So I mean, that's enough times for me to remember it. And it, like I said, it's not like it restarts the entire phone.
Yeah.
It just, but nice. It'll be nice when that update gets out.
Perhaps a nice Valentine's Day present from Apple to us. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, though.
No kidding.
If you guys are having problems, I would like to say, tell us what your phone's doing, but don't really blow up our feed with all that. Just don't.
Yeah, be nice about it. It's not ours. It's not our product.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Pebble. We've talked about Pebble before. It's probably the most popular smartwatch right now, besides Galaxy Gear maybe. 2 totally different products though. Pretty cool. We actually got one, and each of us has been able to try it out for a few days, kind of develop an opinion about it. Josh, what's some things you liked about it? What didn't you like about it?
It was pros. It was simple, easy, and you knew what you were getting into. You didn't have this expectation that it was going to be this awesome watch that did everything for you. You said, hey, it's going to read notifications to me, set alarms, and maybe let me skip some music. Cool. Awesome. I know what it's doing. And I'm not a big watch guy, and I put it on, and I said, man, this thing's pretty cool. I kind of I didn't want to give it up to Mike. So I thought it was pretty cool. So you knew you're getting into. Cons, not a ton of customization. I like to see a little bit more of that, but beggars can't be choosers. I'd rather have simplicity over overloading it with junk that you're not going to use.
All right. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think I'm still using it.
It's on his wrist right now.
Yeah, it's on my wrist right now. I can.
Oh, there it is.
I love that, the twist and
the thing I really like about it is just I always set my phone down somewhere and I never know where it's at sometimes. So and people are trying to get a hold of me and I don't know about it. So I always get notified when someone's trying to get a hold of me at this point, which might be kind of annoying, but people get interested in what's going on, why you keep looking at your wrist, which is also kind of I think kind of a downfall too. I was out eating with a group of people, and every time I got a message, I was looking at my wrist, and people were like, "Why do you keep looking at your food?" I'm just like, just check my watch out.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's it makes me feel a little bit too connected to to my device and stuff. Like, oh, I gotta check my wrist every time it vibrates, and sometimes it's for nonsense.
Well, the other day you got a Justin Bieber alert, didn't you?
I did, and that's not nonsense. I mean, I am glad I found out about the Biebs.
Yeah.
So,
so I'm someone that when I'm not at home, man, my phone is on me at all times, whether it's in my hand or in my pocket. I know where it is. But when I was trying out the Pebble, I found myself leaving my phone in the office or whatever, and not being worried about getting too far from it because everything I needed was shooting right there to my wrist. If I needed to get something, I'd just run back and grab it. So I really liked that. However, at the same time, it was a little frustrating getting a phone call right there on my wrist and not being able to do anything about it.
Sure.
I could answer it, but they can't hear me. I gotta go run and grab my phone.
Yeah. I think in that case, what I liked about it, what I used it most was, I'd pair my phone up with my Jambox when I got home. I'd throw it on the charger. So my music's playing. I got a playlist going or something. but then I don't have to keep getting up to go check it.
Right.
If I get anything that I really want to answer, I just look down, cool, then I can slide over and grab it. But if not, then, hey, you get an update on a status or something. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I cannot overemphasize how nice it is to get notifications to your wrist, and if it's not something important, to not have to pull out your phone. That is amazing to me. It doesn't seem like it would be much, but just to glance here and be like, oh, I can get that later.
Yep.
Oh, my boss is calling? Ignore.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
And if you're one of those people who are like really unpopular and no one ever gets a hold of you, you can always look at your watch like someone's always trying to get a hold of you. Like CNN update, oh, I'll make it look like someone's updating my Facebook,
Exactly.
What are you, 007?
Yeah, right. Having said all that, I wouldn't mind being able to shoot off a text real quick if it had a little mic and speaker on there. Or
Maybe
if
they
it
could
just
put
tapped
like
into
a
Siri or something.
K option, like you just hit K for all your replies.
Well, what if you could do that? What if you could set some templates up through the app and say, call you back in a minute, hey, I'm outside on my way, stuff like the old phones used to be.
I like one that would say, house is on fire, be within a minute, just...
Be right back, whatever. But if you could set up some templates to the app, that'd be pretty cool.
Sure. So Pebble is not sitting still. CES was at the beginning of January, and they announced a couple cool new things. There's a new Pebble watch already. It's called the Pebble Steel. It's actually the same, interface and screen and heart of it's all the same. They've got some new high-quality metal bands. There's like a dark gray, a silver, and then a leather band option. So it's a lot fancier, a lot more business class, I guess. I don't know. But it costs a little bit more too. The Pebbles $150, and these Pebble Steels are $250. So an extra $100 gets you a much fancier looking phone. Watch, right? I don't know. I was a little disappointed that there was no update to the screen. Like it's an e-ink screen, like on your Kindles and stuff. But Kindles every year, it seems like they announce they get sharper and crisper, and it's more like paper right there in your hand. And they didn't update anything like that. That's a little disappointing because, having gotten used to all these HD and Retina screens and everything, there's some pixels on the Pebble. The font's not crisp and sharper by any means.
I like it. This gives me a retro.
Sure, it does have a retro feel to it for sure.
Yeah, it's a nice little switch up from looking at your phone.
Right. Yeah, it's nice to not have a glowing screen beaming in.
You can kind of show it to your kids and like, this is what it was like back then today.
Yeah. They also announced an app store of all things. So, I don't think it's going to be anything like the Galaxy Gear apps, because the Galaxy Gear's got that touchscreen and everything, but I hear they're launching with over 500 apps. So it's anything from real basic games like Snake to, like CNN and ESPN alerts. There's like things for exercising, like pedometers and stuff like that. I think it's really going to open up the possibilities for this thing.
As long as they do the keep it simple. I mean, that's what they are. It's simple. Flash me an alert. Match up with my ESPN app and flash me an alert on the game. You know what? I'll have my phone on me, whatever. But, I'm not looking to play a game on my watch. Right. Most people aren't. No, I don't think anybody is, They're going to sit there, the taking pictures. You have your phone. If you want to take a picture, you have it. You have to have it close by, otherwise watching it isn't going to work.
Sure.
So,
but there are apps to trigger the camera capture via. So if we're doing a family portrait right here,
that's cool.
I can
that's
get my
fun.
wrist and take the picture.
That's
cool.
fun.
And I do that a lot, because I have a huge family.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I saw a video of you and your niece, I guess.
No, it was my
No?
friend's kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
He
have
just
any
picks
kids.
up
I have
random
I
kids
have,
off the street.
I have
That's
no
called
family. I have no family,
That's
so
called
I borrow
kidnapping.
I borrow other people's families so people don't feel sorry for me. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna go cry.
Anyway,
We done with Pebble? We all pebbled out?
Yeah, we're pebbled out.
Okay.
When you guys say Pebbles, though, I automatically just keep on thinking Flintstones, and I just wish
Little
the name was a little different.
cute Pebble.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
man. You know, I love Fruity Pebbles, but my wife is more of a Cocoa Pebbles person, and I can't stand them.
I can do both. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
mix them. I don't care.
The nice thing about
Yep.
the cocoa is just like you chocolate milk.
It's just-
and
I
you're done.
mean,
Yeah,
you have
exactly.
chocolate milk afterwards. But after Fruity Pebbles, you have strawberry milk, and that's not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's a win-win situation. In my
Yeah.
opinion, so
Pebbles all around. Okay, so Beats Music launched last week, I think.
Last Tuesday.
Okay, this is big. We're all using it, or we've at least tried it. Not a good launch. It was a rocky launch, but I think it was because it was so darn popular. I think their servers got slammed. The app was crashing like crazy. There was just too many people on it at once trying to activate their accounts and everything. So that's not the worst thing in the world. That's a good problem to have.
Exactly.
Josh and I have been using it pretty hardcore. I don't know if Mike.
I haven't actually gotten a chance to use it yet. I just I haven't signed up for it.
Okay.
I'm too afraid to leave Spotify.
Yeah, well, I know Spotify is good. It's what I used to use. I was back and forth between that and iTunes. But what do you think, Josh?
I'm a fan of it. I'm always looking for the best way to get my music. When I had that Windows phone, I rocked Xbox Music, and I loved it, man. I was so happy with it. It downloaded the music right to my phone. I had a ton of space on that phone, so I just loaded it up with music. And I just like that I can either set a playlist, play me new stuff. I can make my own library. Whatever I'm doing, there's preset playlists made by other people. You shared new group with me today, just that people you're following.
It's very social.
It's cool. It looks awesome. That's a big part of it.
It looks sexy. It's one of the best apps I've ever seen.
So what you're saying is, if I were to have children, I couldn't put them on my family plan.
No, you can't.
It's PG-13, so I gotta wait until they get to the age.
It's a little risque. Music subscription services are not new. Spotify, RDO. You can even pay for Pandora to get rid of the ads and get more skips and everything. So in that aspect, Beats isn't doing anything different. Where it's breaking new ground is partnering with AT&T, and for the first time, you can do a music family plan. All the music subscription things are usually $9.99 a month, one person. It's just you. Well, Beats is $15 a month, and up to 5 people on your plan, up to 10 devices total, so 2 per person. That's huge to me.
$3 a month.
Yeah, break it down.
You cannot beat that. You can't tell me, you download 2 songs on iTunes, you spent $3 almost.
Yep.
So, this app, not only does it look good, but it's a good brand. It's partnering with a big carrier,
Right.
and it looks good. I told you I thought one of the coolest things, and most people probably wouldn't even care about this, but I think you and I were on it at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning,
Oh, yeah.
and I got to be like the second person to like a band or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty awesome.
You search for John Mayer, and it's like, you were the second person to follow John Mayer.
Second or third, I'm like, okay, that's pretty sweet.
This new guy, John Mayer. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And after that first, basically I think they shut it off to a lot of people for a couple of days.
Put it on a waiting list.
And if you had already signed up for it, you got to hang on to it. And they fixed whatever the issue was, but it was freezing up, it was crashing, it wouldn't go from one song to the other. I couldn't skip playlists, I couldn't do anything in it a lot of times. It had problems you know, going
rough.
from one song to another.
It was a rough
And
48 hours.
And I totally understood the
Yeah.
problem. I mean, I wasn't upset at the problem, but it was like, man, let's get this rolling because
Right.
it looks awesome and I want to use it. And this past week, I have been getting off work and I've been listening to music for like an hour every night. You know, and then I get around for bed and I listen to music as I go to sleep. And it's nice.
Sure. So besides the family plan setting it apart, the other major difference between Beats and all the rest is there's a big emphasis on human curation. So what that means is, you know, like on Pandora or something, you type it in there, hey, I like John Mayer and The Fray, give me some other songs like that. And it does a pretty good job. You know, it's computer algorithms crunching songs and lyrics and keys and genres and trying to give you a solid playlist. And for some people, that works. They just want a replacement for the radio. That's fine. But Beats thinks they can do more with music. They've hired a bunch of music experts, DJs, magazine writers, stuff like that. And, you know, a human is always going to beat out a computer. Unless it's chess, maybe. But when it comes to music, we just, you know, there's passion and there's love in it, and a human's just always going to make those connections that a computer will probably never be able to.
You know, I don't know if I could agree with that, though, because you still got to think, that person's just going based off, this is what I like. You know, so two bands may sound the same to that person, but it may not sound the same to me.
Sure, there's always going to be personal taste. However, there's a ton of people to follow.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's setting it apart from the rest. And I can attest, every song or every album, there's a heart and a heart with a cross in it, meaning either, oh, I like this or I hate it. And after having used it a week, when you first open the app up, after every few hours, it has a just for you section, and it's getting better every single time. At first it was like, I'm not so sure, I don't like them, or I don't like that, but now it's like, oh yes, I love that playlist, or oh, I love that album. Mm-hmm. So it's getting better every day, and that's cool. You can see it's learning from what I listen to.
Sure. I like the, you know, and other apps do this as well, but it's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're barbecuing. All right, cool. Let's throw up. It might give me 10 playlists on what I can play for a barbecue, depending on what kind of music I like. Cool. You know, or and then pick from those playlists to create my own playlist. Hey, I like 2 from this one, 2 from this one. Hey, I want to put those in a playlist that I like, and then I can throw it up there that somebody else might like. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's really cool. Social is a great word because that's exactly what it is. You know, you can tweet whatever you're listening to. Your followers, like I said today, I went, Shane, I got a message from you, and you said what? And you went, oh, it's just a notification that you follow me, and I threw up a new playlist or whatever it was. And I said, man, that's pretty awesome. So, you know, you get to learn what your friends are listening to. Maybe he found something that I like. Hey, what's Shane listening to? Oh, cool, I like that song or whatever. So
it's really a
awesome
combination of Spotify, Xbox Music, and even Songza that we talked about a couple months ago. You know, Songza was very, hey, I'm doing this at 6 o'clock on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. Beats has something called the sentence. It's kind of like a Mad Lib. I'm at work with my coworkers and I feel like dancing to pop. Yep. And you hit play, man, and you've got a playlist that you can dance to with your coworkers.
Yeah.
Not that
or zombies, or
yeah, no, it gets a little crazy.
It gets a little weird.
It's fun. I wish it all the best. I really like it, and I don't know, the music industry. I heard last month that for the first time since iTunes launched, 10, 12 years ago, that digital sales went down for the first month. And it doesn't surprise me. Spotify, Pandora, people, I don't think people are buying their music anymore. They just want to either listen to it for free with ads or throw a few bucks at it and have unlimited. Why pay $10 for an album when I could pay $10 for all of the music in the world? And
if nothing else, try it out. AT&T customers, a single person, if you want to try it out, the rest of your family's not interested in it, $10 a month, or you get a 30-day free trial with that person. Now, if an entire family signs up, you get 90 days of a free trial.
Just do it. Come in the store, we'll
set you up with it. It doesn't cost you anything. Just try it out.
Yeah.
3 months of free music. And
this actually starts tomorrow, doesn't it? I don't think they started doing the carrier integration until
AT&T partnership started on the 24th.
Okay.
So we're good.
Yeah. If you're not AT&T and you're watching this, you can still do it. I think, did they extend it to 14 days or did they just knock it back down to 7?
It's 7. They extended it to 14 for people that were having trouble.
Well, I got the 30-day one, but I saw that so you still get a 7-day free trial. Totally worth it to check it out. It's an awesome app, tons of music, and doesn't cost you anything to try it out. So.
Something I see that potentially is probably what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a pretty neat thing about it. Is since Beats also makes headphones, audio accessories and stuff like that. I bet you they'll do a lot of, you buy these headphones, you'll get like a week free, a month free, stuff like that. They'll do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
they'd be dumb if they didn't do that. Yeah. So Beats, we like it. Yeah. Some other news, some bits and bytes, if you will. Gosh, a couple days ago, Google's selling Motorola, which begs the question, why did they buy Motorola? It was only a couple years ago.
I don't think it was a couple years. It seems
it's
like
2011.
Okay.
That's what I was reading the other day, 2011.
The easy answer is they bought them for patents and stuff. They put out one phone, a good phone. I like it. It's probably my favorite Android phone, the Moto X. It's almost pure Android. It's the phone with touchless controls. Okay, Google, didn't it?
And totally customizable.
Yeah, it was the first phone that you could ever go online and swap out 20 different colors. It was a cool phone, but that's all they did with them. And now they're selling them to Lenovo, the laptop guys. So, I don't know.
I don't understand it either, and man, you just keep reading more and more about what Google's doing, and you're wondering, they're buying up companies like the robotics place out in, that MIT came up with, and I think they're thinking bigger than cell phones, and which is cool.
Yeah.
Whoever thought, this Google search, what's Google? Well, we go and search stuff on the internet. Now what's it doing? It's competing with Apple to be the top tech company in the world.
Google just bought Nest.
Yeah.
The really cool thermostats.
Smart smoke alarms. Yeah. And I think they're looking more into this, what AT&T calls digital life, home electronics, and saying, how can we make your home smarter?
Home automation, the smart home, is coming up. I think
close.
The next two big things are wearables, whether it's a smartwatch, Google Glass, Apple's working on something. That's going to be big. And then the automated home.
I just can't wait for the Google tuxedo.
Oh. What's that
James Bond will be real.
There's be a gadget in every sleeve and everything.
Google or LG at CES had a huge display of glass. Now, we've seen things like this before. We have interactive glass that can throw, whatever you're looking at up onto either a mirror or your TV or your windows, whatever. We've seen that before, but LG had a big display of it at CES, and that's got to be where it's going. You can get windows put in your house that auto dim to, the sun coming in. It's already there. It's just smarter. It keeps the temperature of your house the same throughout the day. Or when no one's there, it's lower and higher, whatever.
LG just had that commercial. They had that TV where they put in the office. I don't know if I saw it on
your. Yeah, that was funny.
Was it on your page?
What was it?
LG has that new TV that's like incredibly lifelike, and they put it in an office.
They had
with the asteroids coming and freaking people out.
Oh my gosh.
It was cool.
We should post that.
That's where it's headed. It has to be.
Yeah.
And I think Google has bigger ideas than to get caught up in the phone race. I don't think they care so much about that, because with their software, they can do more things than just put it into.
That was another thing that was so confusing about them buying Motorola and not doing so much with it. Google has a whole nother thing with Nexus phones. So once a year, Google will pick Samsung or LG and partner with them and make what they think is the perfect pure Android phone. But none of them was ever Motorola. So that was always so weird to everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how much money they lost or whatever. So
what I read is they bought it for 11 or 12 billion dollars, and they're selling it for like 2.5.
yes.
Obviously, it doesn't matter to
change.
them, does it?
He's got that in the seats of his couch.
I
Probably.
do. Sometimes I just open up my car door and it's just spilling
I'm
out.
sorry, my $1 billion. I'll put you back in.
What'd you say about Bill Gates the other day?
It's not worth his time to bend over and pick up $100 bill if he drops it.
He's probably making more walking down
He
the
is.
street.
I said I'm just gonna go following around. He drops hundreds.
Because he ain't picking it up. It's not worth his
It's
time.
like a trail of breadcrumbs to your fortune.
$100 bills.
Something else, I think this just happened this morning. Facebook is getting ready to launch a new app called Paper. I wish they would have picked a different name, because Paper is actually a really cool app on the iPad. Lets you sketch stuff and finger paint and all that stuff. But basically, it looks like a combination of Flipboard and the old... what was it? Facebook Home, or what was that on the Facebook phone?
Oh,
What'd they call it?
yeah, Facebook
Okay.
Home. You're right.
So basically, it's two different parts. It takes your news feed and makes it look really sharp. It's very interactive. Basically, get rid of all the buttons and the settings, all that stuff most people don't touch, and just drill a Facebook post down to its most purest thing, the words or a picture, a caption. And excuse me, it's really fluid and sharp. Things flip open and you can swipe left and right.
But will it tell me if Jenny's single? Will it tell me?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. So that's one part of it. It basically makes your newsfeed look super pretty. The other part is more like Flipboard. You get to tell it, hey, I'm really into tech and environmental stuff and politics. And it'll start feeding stories into that. And, I don't know, Flipboard feels a little threatened by this or what. It launches early next month. And I hope they just make it the Facebook app in a few months, because it looks that good. And I'll probably start just using it as that. Were you guys able to watch a video on it or anything like that? It looks really nice. I think it launches like February 2nd or something, so keep an eye out for that. It's called Paper. I hope they change the name.
I feel like that's gonna be like in quotations, like next to the name of the
Paper
app.
2.
Not
Well,
the iPad.
It's just gonna be like Paper. I hope they change the name.
Yeah, I think what they're going for is like, even in the promo video, it's kind of the new way to, instead of flipping up your morning paper, you're opening this app. But yeah, I think it's just a little confusing. Whatever. How about the LG Flex? Have you guys seen this thing?
Yeah, it's neat. I just I was trying to watch a video on it. I was a little like, this is strange. It's curved. It's curved.
It's the first. It's AT&T's first curved screen, and you're thinking what? But also at CES this year, man, curved screens are like the new thing. Whether it's Samsung TVs, LG's phone, or even like Apple's rumored iWatch is supposed to have some sort of curved glass screen. That's the new thing. Whether it's going to be popular or not, time will tell. But
I saw a cool kind of, what might happen with it, and it was that your phone could flip over and you could have one side of apps on one side and one on the other, and your wallpaper would then scroll all the way around your screen. And then the other side would be, your volume up, volume down,
Sure.
And lock screen, all that, which is kind of cool. I think that's one of those things you'd have to see it before you really thought. The G Flex, I thought watching a video on it was awesome. I thought the display was sweet. It's a big phone.
it's a huge screen.
Yeah,
it's at
a
least
monster.
6
I mean,
inches, right?
it's
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 kind of
big.
something like maybe you're sunbathing and you just want to lay down. It's curved, so you can lay it on your face.
You could probably
and
get
you can
a nice
watch stuff.
neck
And-
tan.
It's kind of like the smaller version of Oculus.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like an IMAX screen in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, the screen is sharp. It looks really good, and the buttons are on the back just like on the G2.
Which I thought I would hate. It's not the worst thing.
It's not that bad. You're not having to worry
Your
about
fingers are
pressing it.
back there anyways,
Mhm.
so they might as well put the buttons back there. Volume up and down and the lock button.
Yep.
They're just right there. You don't even have to reach around or anything.
And it has the double tap to wake up.
That's big.
I like that.
Most
feature.
of these phones, you got to pick it up, hit the lock button,
Swipe to
swipe
unlock.
or type in whatever. The LG phones are doing this. The Nokia 1020 has been doing it for a while. Man, it's just tap tap and the screen is
That's
away.
nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I still like the G2 better than the Flex, just because I like the size a little better, and it's basically the same guts, and it's a little smaller. But
The G2 gets into the range of like this might be the perfect phone. Like it's the
It's
right
close.
size, it's thin, it's light, it's fast. You're getting into that.
the
It's
bezels
more-
are real
it's
small.
more
all
screen real estate, too.
It's
Yeah.
all screen. That's
the
all
screen
it
goes to the
And it's-
almost to the edge.
it's
and
beautiful.
That looks so good.
is. Just a few bugs in it that if you're hardcore into phones, you may notice.
An example, we just sold a Bluetooth to a lady the other day. There's no denying all the phones have pretty decent voice recognition. Some are better than others. Siri is probably king of the hill right now, with Samsung right behind them with S voice. But where we started to see problems was with LG has a version of voice recognition. What's it called? Genie or something?
Yep.
It's okay. It only worked about half the time. Like call
It
Josh.
wasn't real
you know.
responsive. I had to
Right.
be really firm with it. Like, call Shane now.
Please.
Calling Mike. No. but other than that, the guts of the phone are awesome. It's got an awesome processor. It's got a 13 megapixel camera. It comes with 32 gigs of space, all built in. It's a sharp phone. It's got an awesome screen. And I just prefer the G2 over the Flex.
Back to the voice recognition, it boggles my mind why Google isn't forcing these guys to use Google Now. Google Now is an improved
Awesome.
version of
Yes.
Google Search, and it's everything Siri is, sometimes better.
Yeah.
It's certainly faster.
Yeah.
I don't know, and they're just, these LG and Samsung are like hiding it under 3 button taps, and it's like, it's a waste of so much potential.
That's where Motorola did it right. They had
Right.
touchless controls,
Yeah.
which I understand. That's Google's phone. I
Yeah.
get that. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to, you can make your phone so much better. If you're the S4, you're going, I'm probably the king of Android right now. All right? Why am I not just making it better?
Right.
Why don't I get rid of this stupid S voice that I've got and just say, okay, Google Now.
Bless their hearts, the manufacturers love to put their own spin on Android, and so many of the times it's just like, ooh, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Don't do something just to make it different.
Yeah,
Only do it if you're going to improve on something.
Samsung goes, oh, Apple has Siri, we've got to make an S voice. Which
It's a voice.
we keep it's a voice. We keep hearing about this Coronata.
Yeah, man. Windows is working on something.
It's Cortana.
Right. From Halo.
Yeah. Have you heard about this?
So Master Chief in Halo has his own little AI assistant. Her name's Cortana. And Windows is working on some voice recognition assistant, and it's codenamed Cortana. But people want it to
They're
be called
petitioning
Cortana.
that it stays that name. That's just the code name right now. They haven't officially released that.
It's kind of making me think of Portals. I'm trying to think of Gladys or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
That's
Same idea.
that.
So they're one.
Except for that would freak me out. I feel like I was constantly being questioned or
Isn't
puzzled.
the Portal one like it's kind of rude?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It hates humans and it just mocks you.
Yeah.
Cortana, Microsoft says, they said we're not releasing it till it's better than what's out, which is a cool statement to make if you can follow up with it. Because yeah,
not 2 years from now.
Because we've seen where they lack a little bit in that department. So hey, if you could put something like that out where you have an almost fully interactive voice recognition, man, that'd be a game changer for them.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you guys should all know that you can no longer drive in Illinois and talk on the phone at the same time.
Exactly.
We've got new hands-free laws, so your phone better not be in your hand while you're driving, because you will get pulled over, and I think the ticket's like $75.
$75.
We have Bluetooth for $30. Please don't get a $75 ticket. I'll be honest, our most popular Bluetooth is from Motorola. It's the Roadster 2. A lot of people don't like to wear something in their ear, so it's actually a big speaker you just clip up onto your visor, and man, we can't keep these things in stock. I think we sold 15 in like 12 hours. It's normally $99. It's high quality. I think it has pretty decent noise cancellation. I've never had anybody complain about it on the other end. I use it all the time. I have one in my Jeep. It just pairs up to your phone via Bluetooth one time. In addition to the being able to answer and make calls, it has a voice button that taps into Siri, so I can be texting Josh, or I could send an email to Mike, because I love to do that.
He emails me all the time.
Yeah. But something that sets it apart for me is it has this FM button on it. You can tune your radio to like an open FM station that nobody's using, and it'll tap into that, and I can hit play on my phone and be streaming some Beats music, not through the Roadster, but through my car stereo, all without ever plugging anything in. That's awesome to me.
Can't beat that. Beats putting in a new face for your stereo, or if your car doesn't have it. Mine doesn't have it, so that's what I would have to do. And
especially for all you people with your old-timey cars without auxiliary jacks. If it does have an auxiliary jack, it's prehistoric.
I'm usually rocking the tape adapter to headphones.
That's about how it
I've
goes.
been using one of those for like 10
that's about
years.
how it goes.
Bluetooth, man, it's the future.
Everything's the future. Seriously, technically. Technically.
Well, technically.
Essentially, actually.
So, to kind of wrap it up, I don't know if we've ever had a time that we have so many promos and sales going on. So we wanted to talk about that. Probably the coolest right now is we're doing all our Windows phones half off right now. We're calling it the Windows Phone Winter Blue sale.
Yes.
Everybody's kind of cold and miserable, so we're just trying to cheer you up a little bit. Get a new phone half off.
Don't be sad. Get a phone.
Yeah. I thought that was going to rhyme.
It did not.
I blew it.
Good try.
So, like, what I think is probably the coolest Windows phone, the Lumia 925. It's thin, it's light, it's a real sharp screen. It's normally, what, $100? $100?
Yeah.
Get it for $50 right now. At $50, that beats half the phones up there. It's just a cool phone. And that goes for our Windows tablets too. So Nokia has the 2520. If you bundle a new Windows phone and a Windows tablet, you get them all at the same time. You're getting a Windows tablet for $150 right now. That's
unbelievable. And Windows tablets, they're pretty close to desktop computer as far as function.
Microsoft Office built in.
Those can run desktop modes. Office built in, full PowerPoint, Word, Excel. You want to talk about an actual computer replacement, that Windows tablet is it.
Yeah.
I mean, what sounds better to you? A Windows tablet that replaces your computer for $150, or a new iPad for $600-700?
Yeah.
Come on, no contest.
So, and you can also get the Lumia 1020, the 41 megapixel camera phone. Want to take awesome pictures? It's normally $200. You can get it for $100. You can walk out here with a brand new phone, a brand new camera, and a tablet for what, $250?
Less than some of our phones cost.
Yeah. So, pretty good deal on the Windows phones right now.
Some other awesome deals we have is come in and activate a new line, whether it's an old flip phone or a new smartphone, AT&T Next, whatever. You're gonna get $100 credit on your bill in a couple months. That's awesome. Just if you guys have been thinking about, well, I kind of want a tablet. What do you think? Now's never been a better time. Add a tablet to your line on a mobile share, $10 a month, and you get $100 bill credit. That's 10 months free.
And we're still doing $100 off on the 2-year agreements.
Right.
Yeah, that's you're putting some bins in your pockets.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
now is the best time to get a tablet. You can get up to $200 off of a tablet right now.
There's some serious competition going on between the carriers right now. AT&T Mobile, kind of button heads, and who's winning? You are. Right now, if you port over your number from T-Mobile or US Cellular, and you go with AT&T's new Next.
Actually, I think we might need their bridges. I think at this point it's actually any carrier now as long as you do Next.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Verizon too.
Sure. AT&T Next, by the way, that's the way to go. No more contracts, no more activation fees, upgrade fees, or anything. You get a new phone every year. Simple as that. So right now, if you port your number over from anybody to AT&T, you go with Next, you're getting a $200 bill credit per line, right? That shows up on your bill in a couple billing cycles, plus up to another $250 if you trade in your smartphone to us. So, wow, that's $450 per line per phone in credits that AT&T's just kind of throwing at
You
you.
have to be crazy not to go with AT&T.
Something else pretty cool. AT&T wants to get you into new phones faster than ever. Right now, if you're 5 months into your old 2-year contract, basically you're eligible for an upgrade via Next. So let's get you out of your contract. Let's get you a discount on your monthly bill and get you a new phone every 12 or 18 months sooner than ever. So everybody's eligible for that pretty much. That's 5 months into their old contract. And then finally, as always, if you got an old phone at home that you don't want anymore, or you just upgraded or whatever, bring it here and trade it in for store credit. Whether it's $20 that gets you a free car charger or $200 that buys you a new phone, well, it's better than sitting at home in a drawer or something.
Sure.
Do want to point out that don't get your hopes up on your flip phones because those normally aren't going to get
Sure.
you anything.
Yeah,
sure.
So,
It's
for any of you who jumped the gun on how many flip phones you have in your desk drawer,
I'm guessing most people that have flip phones aren't going to be watching this.
yeah,
so.
so that's probably true.
maybe get Grandma to bring in her old flip phones and we'll give her a handshake.
Yes.
Thank you for making the environment a better place.
Yes.
Thank you for not throwing these in the trash.
Yep, that's what my grandma wants, a handshake.
Yeah, well, we might get stickers or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We've come roundabout to your grandma twice during
Yeah.
this thing. So.
Gosh, what is it?
She's on my mind all the time.
Have you seen this Beats music? Yes, I have, Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpa, I'm glad you have too.
I'm glad you and Dr. Dre are best friends.